Hey all you adorable fluff butts out there, Kitthesoulless here, and today we're going to talk about a couple different things, or rather, a couple different fluffs. See, I've seen a lot of issues arise now in the furry community, most of which are simple and petty. Minor things like,
well, your fursuit is more expensive than mine, so I don't like you.
However, other issues stand out, and these are the sort of things that actually stand out to the rest of the world when they see us. So let's break this video down a bit. We're going to be talking about 4 events, and while they are connected in some ways, they could all be considered standalone issues in their own right too. Buckle up, my fluffy friends. Today we're going to be talking about Demetrius Trader, Karna, Sauron, and the rise of the far-left ideology in our community. Alright, so we all know about the cute white and gold bird that goes by Demetrius Trader. He's an adorable fursuiter who tries his very best to bring laughter and smiles to those he interacts with, and generally he does a pretty good job of it. He's high energy, approachable, generally a photogenic and friendly individual. He has a habit of photobombing pictures at conventions and suiting around town to try to brighten everyone's day. Recently, however, he was mixed up in a weird little scandal involving his fursuit account on Twitter, his human account, and a lot of accusations about things like racism. He made the choice, after being badgered by several people, to remain neutral on his fursuit account. He made a statement that got people fairly upset with him too. His reasons for this are most likely because he didn't want to invite politics and drama onto an account designed primarily to showcase an adorable bird and their weird and wild antics. Now, while he has asked that his human account remain hidden, I can verify that they've been quite vocal on it about the current state of the world. For this choice, though, they've been berated, harassed, and even threatened with true acts of violence, simply for not wanting to associate a fursuit account with groups like Antifa or Black Lives Matter. Another good example of furry outrage would be the case of an adorable Tide Pod fuzzball by the name of Sauron. He's a furry YouTuber with a following of around 36,500 subscribers, as well as around 15,000 followers on Twitter, and generally, he's a nice guy. He has been accused, however, of being transphobic, racist, and a slew of other titles given to him by outraged furries, because he seems to hold a more conservative viewpoint than most other furs when it comes to politics. Fun fact to add, though, by his own admission, he's a libertarian. Now, while they have had a few issues in the past, like a convention video idea where he threw a plush toy at people, they've been mostly minor. When it comes to the accusations against him, it's been more because of his political beliefs and the beliefs of his mate. As always, though, people have taken to harassing him for his beliefs and for the actions of another person, which he honestly has no control over. People have tried to dictate who he is and isn't allowed to care about or be with, simply because of ideological stances made by a third party, and are treating him not wanting to leave a relationship over ideological differences as a sign of support for those same ideas. Now, it would be an insane understatement to claim that this is simply problematic, since it shows how very tribal our community has become in the past few years. If your politics don't match up with the community and you don't fall into lockstep, you're destined to be harassed. Another good example of how politics have led to controversy in our community would be Karna, an adorable Lombax suitor who is, you guessed it, a little further right politically than most furries are apparently comfortable with. Though in this case, their idea of right-wing is also a bit to the left, since, by his own admission, Karneth is a libertarian centrist. Regardless, though, this adorable fluff has been accused of so many things it makes my head spin, from being unapologetically racist to being a zoo sadist. But where's the proof? The only things I've seen cited in these accusations are old tweets with a differing opinion, But we all know that in this day and age, a differing opinion is considered violence. The ideals and beliefs of the political far left are a dangerous thing in some cases. The same can be said for any ideology that stems from any of the extremes on the political scale. The far left, however, seems to be infectious, making its way into smaller groups and communities where they attack, defame, harass, and slander their political rivals. Once they have enough of a hold on any one community, they ramp up this behavior to an extreme by labeling people as criminals, pedophiles, Nazis, and so on. They do this in an attempt to silence and exile anyone with a differing opinion or ideology. This is tribalism at its worst. The belief that
these people are evil because they don't conform to our tribe's way of life, beliefs, or loyalties.
And it can be an incredibly destructive force to any community. It creates a divide between members of the community, where one side fights with every dirty tactic they can to silence and alienate those who would dare to oppose them. This has been an issue in our community because it has led to a major decline in the furry fandom where our founding principles are concerned. As a community, we were meant to be tolerant of others, their beliefs, and their way of life. This has never meant, however, that we tolerate criminal behavior. Far from it, in fact. But it means we were meant to be welcoming to people from all walks of life. Now, however, if you don't fall in line with the political far left, you're destined to be harassed by a large number of furs who are willing to do everything from label you as a deplorable by calling you a Nazi, a pedophile, or a white supremacist, to flat out threatening people's lives and committing true acts of violence against them. This is not, in my opinion, what furry is. We were meant to be so much more than just a group of misguided, politically led sheep who can't see past their differences to the fact that we all have something amazing in common. We're all fans of anthropomorphic animals. This is the one universal truth for every furry alive, regardless of age, gender identity, race, religion, sexuality, place of origin, or political belief. As a community, we need to learn to be more tolerant and learn from one another again, instead of trying to constantly tear each other down. We have fallen, this is undeniable, but it doesn't mean we can't strive for a better tomorrow. I long to see the day where we can once again be an inviting community for everyone, regardless of our differences. Until that day, however, I will continue to point out the flaws in our community as a whole, in hopes that I can reach out to those who are willing to listen and learn what it was that made our community great in the first place.